Have you seen that viral reel that talks about the world losing colors?
Hi everyone, this is Shrini.
This is Shreya.
Welcome
Welcome
to
to
Yappuccino.
Yappuccino. Yappuccino is a place where we sit, have coffee, and talk about anything and everything that's on our minds and gossip a little bit.
Let's start our Yap sesh. I hope you enjoy the video.
Hi.
Have you seen that viral reel that talks about the world losing colors?
Yeah, I've seen it and I've been seeing it for years now. I mean, I remember it literally, the same content went viral, I think, a couple of years ago as well. Maybe it was not in a reel format, but
Hmm.
I think this was a conversation. I think I've seen it for a while. This sort of, and there are multiple aspects to this conversation also. How the world is losing color is, of course, one of them. Then there's how we are losing the details of design.
Yeah.
Like there's so many topics around this, like conversations around this topic that I feel that we've been discussing it for a while, but I think this whole topic really went viral with the whole traumatic Pantone color of the year.
Oh, right.
What do you think
It
about
was
that
that
cloud
off white.
dance? Not
Yeah.
even off white; it was just a dead white. What do you think
I
about that?
mean, it's shocking, but it's also not. Because if you see for the past few years, that whole beige mom, beige aesthetic has gone so viral
Hmm.
that it's almost like it's normal now. Like, I was surprised that it's a white color, but at the same time, I was like, like, makes sense. If we are if we are, naming it Pantone color of the year based on the future trends or the recent times, then in that sense, it does make thoda sense to me because there's been like so much rise about minimalism and people are just relating minimalism to these neutral colors,
Hmm.
which I don't think it's how it's supposed to be.
Hmm.
Like coming from an architecture background, I can see minimalism in a different way.
Hmm.
But the main idea of now minimalism interiors and architecture is there's a white sofa, there's a beige side table, there's white walls. Maybe there's some texture, lime plaster, or some rough surface. That is literally about it. Like the Scandinavian thing,
Also, the quiet luxury aesthetic
quite
in fashion.
luxury, yeah. And I think all of that is linked. I think fashion. Do you think there's this neutral tone rise in fashion also?
I think it's very difficult to say if that is the case in fashion because fashion, I think there are some brands who eternally have that aesthetic, right? Like
Hmm.
Max Mara or maybe a Laura Piana who
Oh.
basically always have that sort of minimal, quite luxury aesthetic. But I think fashion is not really getting minimal by any sense. And I think, to be honest, the peak of minimalism was, I think, in that whole 2010-15 aesthetic when, that whole like aesthetic came through of the millennial gray,
Ah, okay.
that vibe. I mean, I'm not sure actually. I think, this time the Pantone color of the year, I think why, like, first of all, obviously, it's a very boring color of the year. Doesn't, and a lot of people were like, it's not even a color, which is not true. I mean, white is obviously a color. And what I read about what the company sort of wanted to communicate with that color, and it was something like, a reset or a fresh beginning, stuff
Okay.
like that. But I think white is such a controversial color because I think it means so much, even though it's just a very neutral color, as they would like to say it. Like white also signifies peace.
Yeah.
But in like certain like Asian culture, it is like a sign of like widowhood or like death,
Death.
mortality.
Huh.
It means almost everything. It means almost something very strong in almost every country and culture. That is why people were like so upset. And white in general is also like a very, it's a recession indicator if you've heard. Like, like it's just like, everything is so depressing that all we need again is like a white color. So it was like people were like so frustrated that the job market is bad, you can't afford houses, everything is like loneliness epidemic is here, social media usage is high, politically, economically, everything is so dead. And on top of that, you give us something that is so tangibly like, making stating the obvious that, oh yeah, it's just dead.
Huh.
That is what I think. And people also, a lot of people I think associated with it white supremacy also. Like, how white is the color of purity and luxury. But I don't know. I think that could be like sort of a stretch.
Hmm.
But I think that is what I was thinking about the Pantone color. But anyway, that like realistically, Pantone color is more of a cultural movement than a actual design trend. Like who is actually
Yeah.
designing anything or thinking of making choices based on the Pantone color of the year, and especially when it's such a controversial one. And white is a color that people will inevitably use, even if they want to or not
Yeah,
want to.
yeah. But Pantone color of the year does have like a very short term impact, right? Like I remember last time I think it was like this mocha coffee brown
Yeah, it was,
something.
yeah, but that was, I
And
think, still in line with the whole quiet luxury and a lot of
maybe, but then
trends.
I remember a lot of brands picking it up instantly, and at least for a few months, it was a little popular
Hmm.
in that way. I don't know. I don't know if this is gonna happen this year,
Yeah.
but I remember that a few brands were like, yeah, they were fast fashion brands, and they were talking about how quickly they have produced products with that color
Hmm.
because it's a trendy thing
Yeah.
now. But okay, maybe it does have a short term impact. But if we specifically talk about the clothes thing that you were saying,
Hmm.
that you don't think fashion is losing color,
Hmm.
I think the opposite actually, because
Hmm.
whenever I see people, they are literally always wearing neutral colors nowadays.
Hmm.
Mostly it's black, gray, navy blue of some sort,
Hmm.
white. White blue, I feel people have stopped wearing. Like they mostly go towards like these darker tones. And now a little bit of this cherry coke color thing has come. But if you see they're not wearing those fun, funky colors anymore. Like, yellow, lime green, red, pink. They wear it occasionally, but like it's not a part of their personality. Like the color is not adding to their
Yeah,
aesthetic
but
in
don't
any
you
way.
think you're thinking of a sample size that is too small? If you think about how India wears color, it's mostly very, very bright colors. If you go to a tier 2 town, you see what the people are wearing, it's mostly like very bright colors.
Hmm.
And I think in urban areas, it's a bit more neutral, I
Is
feel.
it like a wannabe quite luxury thing then?
I think it's just a convenience thing, also, right? I mean, for day to day, I don't think people just want to put that effort in.
It's
And
easier to style those neutral colors.
easier to style, and also
I mean,
brands are
we
also
are also
wearing,
wearing
yeah,
neutral colors, Abhi.
yeah.
But yeah.
So I think in fashion, it's very, very subjective. I think I have a good number of basic black neutrals or whatever, but I also have, I think, a lot of color.
Hmm.
But it is not always possible to wear color because most of the colorful items I have are a bit more fancier items or items that I just don't want to wear day to day. So
Okay.
it's not like for example, if I talk personally, it's not if I'm wearing like a colorful outfit or if I'm wearing some jacket I really like, it's probably because it's special. And if it's just a basic jacket, then I'll just probably like a black jacket, I'll just probably wear it in every day. I think
Oh.
that also could be it.
I feel I would do the opposite. I would buy color it more trendy things
Hmm.
and then invest in utilitarian pieces in like neutral colors.
Hmm.
Right? Because trend, what if you get bored of that
I
color? Like if I got
yeah.
a
But
brat
I
green
feel color
color.
is not trendy inherently. Color is not trendy that much in clothes, I feel. Like, even though Brad Green was trending, no one was like going
Wearing
and
it.
yeah, it was a digital
But there was
sensation.
a phase, right? This whole neon fluorescent
Yeah, but
phase.
that is a much more bigger thing. So Brat was like a very short term branded aesthetic.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Neon was like a very different era. It was one of the most wildest. It was in 2012, started by Christopher Kane.
Hmm.
He was a student, like right out of a student collection that trend started. It was not some big analyst color company who sort of decided that neons will be trending. It was the student who thought that it looked cool. Then every brand copied him, and he's one of the most iconic designers there is. So color can come out of anywhere, right? I mean, even if you see now,
Hmm.
Abhi the color was Cloud Dancer, but that was just by one company.
Yeah.
WSGN had some other predictions. Coloro had some other ones.
Hmm.
Other contenders were like a bright orange and a teal, like a
Oh.
teal color. I think color is so subjective, but I think if we talk about if the world is losing color, I think it's my approach on that is that I think color is getting more branded day by day. So
Hmm.
when we think of maybe like a light blue, it's Tiffany.
Oh.
Think of like a red in fashion, it's Valentino. When we think of like red in cars, it's Ferrari. And we think
Right.
of, I think certain colors are so deeply associated with certain companies now. Even the, if you think one of the last biggest trends, Barbie pink,
Yeah.
Brad green, everything is associated to a brand now. Brands are like really pushing that.
You know, this color thing, this brands association sort of reminds me. There's this artist, Anish Kapoor,
Hmm.
and he's, the Chicago Bean.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
He's uska, he's the artist of that thing. So once he sort of found this color Vanta Black, which was like the blackest black. When you put that color,
Hmm.
there's like no shadow is cast on that. It's like the
Hmm.
blackest black.
Hmm.
And what he did is he went ahead and he was like, "Ki, this is only for my personal use." He like copyrighted it and everything type of
Hmm.
thing. And then there was a smaller artist towards Semple, I think. He he got pissed that you cannot, what's it called,
Like
copyright a color,
trademark, yeah.
trademark a color,
Yeah.
right? So he went and then he created a pinkest pink color.
Hmm.
And then he was like on his website, it's available for everyone
Hmm.
except Anish Kapoor.
Yeah.
And then it was a whole thing. But then, do you think a brand should like copyright colors? Like,
I
isn't that
think
a little?
copywriting colors is. I think Anish Kapoor invented that color, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's a very different thing. But so color copywriting doesn't work solely on the basis of color. So today, if I design a red bag, Valentino cannot come and sue me that you have used the exact shade of red.
Yeah.
It depends on multiple, like the fabric, the design element, the shape, the logo. Like
Okay.
color is, you can't like. I don't think there's any sort of mechanism to copyright color altogether. I think it's more about the whole product end result. But I don't think
Yeah.
it should be fair to copyright color. I don't think that brands should rely so heavily on color anyway.
Yeah. Now I can't think
But
of this color
yeah, and
as
it's
like
Tiffany blue.
Tiffany.
Yeah.
That will always be on my mind now.
Yeah, and
But with fashion, a lot of people are very afraid of trying to wear like colors because they think they'll stand out. Or
yeah,
yeah, right?
yeah.
But so do you think wearing color is cool or uncool? Like in like our generation, like
I
a
think
Gen
it's
Z
super
thing.
cool. I mean, I love wearing color. Even though I'm not wearing right now because I'm wearing like a fur coat.
Yeah.
But I
But there
think
has been
we
this
need to.
rise in maximalism now because minimalism took over so much. Now people are going maximalist in terms
That's
of
great, I
fashion,
think,
right?
because maximalist is the only sort of style where you can actually express your personality.
Yeah.
And maximalism, and not just in fashion, but in like interior decor or maybe just in
Yeah. I
everywhere.
love interior
I mean,
maximalism.
almost maximalism, almost every aspect can like really enhance how you are sort of coming out with your personality. It is the only way to like actually show what you
Hmm.
are. So I think that's really. But this reminds me.
Hmm.
Coming to maximalism, tell
Yeah.
me like your favorite colors and why they are your favorites.
Oh, my all-time favorite color is yellow.
Oh
But
my god.
for the recent times, like a few years, it has been lime green. Majorly because it has that yellow part to it. But I do like green, but I like a very lighter, brighter shade of green. So it's lime green technically right now, but like its all-time favorite color is yellow. And I think uh, yellow primarily because it's like associated with happy, cheerful, joyful, and all. And a lot of people are like that she's always smiling. So I feel like it
Hmm.
fits my personality in a way. That is why I like that color. Recent color that I've started liking is also pink, like a very, very hot pink.
Hmm.
Barbie pink, I don't know. But like a pink is also like one of my favorite colors. I don't think there's any association to that. I just like it because it's bright.
Hmm.
I don't like red as a color, especially in design, even though it's bright. But I think pink, yellow, lime green, like a good blue.
Hmm.
I do like bright colors, but okay, yeah. Lime green and yellow final. And pink.
Hmm.
Yours?
Interesting. My favorite colors, I think, first would be like a lavender purple. Second would
Huh.
be like a pink, maybe. And
Yeah.
pink and red, I think, that's second.
Red.
Yeah, I think red is one of my favorites,
I feel
definitely.
red always overpowers everything, and that is why I
Yeah,
don't like it.
yeah, but I
Especially
think
in
I like
design,
that.
that's like my perspective, which is why I don't really like it as
Hmm.
much.
I think red is a very strong, very impactful
Yeah,
color. Pink, of course, I love pink.
yeah.
Purple is a all-time favorite for me. Apart from that, I used to be a major brown hater. I used to just hate the color brown, but I think I've come around to it a
Yeah,
bit more
I
now.
remember pehle there used to be like you can't wear brown and black together, and now
Yeah,
it's the whole thing. You
yeah,
can wear
you
them, and
can. So I think depends, right? I mean, it was mainly a thing because in formals, like men's formals, it looks really bad when you wear like a brown and a black.
there's this
But I
one ugly
think,
shade of brown, which is like this,
yeah, I think almost every color has one ugly shade.
like it's this light brown
Yeah, I think
tan,
top,
I
yeah,
guess. But it's just this weird. Just mostly shoes and belts come in that ugly color.
Hmm.
That brown I hate. But okay, would you choose
Hmm.
dressing or doing your interiors or whatever you do in your life based on aesthetic colors or based on personality based colors? Like, will you go for like a minimal aesthetic because you like the minimal aesthetic, or would you like go for a maximalism because it defines your personality? Is the question clear?
No, that question is. So I think
Like, do you do things generally based on trends and aesthetics, or do you do it based on personality?
I have a fundamentally maximalist aesthetic, and the benefit of doing that is that you can fit any aesthetic into it. For example, my house is very cluttered, right? And if, for example, let's say uh, the sort of like Japanese aesthetic is trending, to just be a part of it. Or if I see something fun that is inspired by that aesthetic, or maybe like an item, I'll
Hmm.
just add it to my place because it can fit into anything can fit into maximalism. That
Huh.
is the luxury of having it. Because anything that is trending, you can just make it a part of your design, like collection or portfolio or whatever. So, for
Hmm.
example, I mean, like literally anything can go with anything, right? You don't need, that's the whole thing with maximalism, that you can do whatever you want. It's the best form of expression. So, you don't need to worry about fitting into an aesthetic. You can just add anything that you want to it and it will look good.
Yeah, that's true, I guess. And do you think these that aesthetics that there are defined aesthetics like minimalism,
Hmm.
or give me another aesthetic name, I can't even think of anything.
Like retro,
Yeah.
like,
So do you, and Ashkal, there's this we were talking about Instagrammy cafe last time and their
hmm.
aesthetic. But do you think all these aesthetic places which have a specific aesthetic, do they all end up looking exactly identical? Or
Yeah.
is that the purpose of the aesthetic?
No. They do because if you go to any bar, they have that aesthetic, like rough wooden tables. Go
Yeah.
to some cafes,
Industrial vibe.
fake
Thoda.
flowers. And there's this very great Instagram creator who made this reel on this, that aesthetics that associated like spas are always very modern.
Oh, I think it's
Yeah.
Revcon. Are you talking about that?
He's a really famous guy who makes content on architecture
Yeah,
design.
yeah, I think I know who it
So
is.
he made
Yeah.
a wonderful video on that, on like how fast food has a certain kind of aesthetic. So I
Hmm.
think some places are definitely tied to an aesthetic.
But so now that there is such a huge rise in global trends because of the internet and everything, we are able to connect. We are able to see what they are doing in the UK, US, whatever. There is a rise in global trends, but I think that's also killing like the regional aesthetic.
Yeah.
Especially if I relate it to architecture, there was a whole thing about when industrialization happened. Earlier, all buildings used to look different, but then industrialization happened, mass production of the materials happened, and then all buildings just started looking like concrete and glass. So the vernacular element of the architecture was lost. But I think that is also happening in terms of fashion and in terms of interiors. Like, you remember old Indian houses used to look so different. They had this similar like clutter core vibe. And everything was all over the place, but it somehow still looked good and very ethnic and traditional. But now all places look the same. Like you cannot tell if this house is in India or in the US. They look
Yeah,
very similar. So that is also one of the reasons I think where the color is getting a little
lost. Yeah,
lost,
yeah.
because it's we're following these global trends instead of
I
a
think
small
more than
regional
global, it's just
trends.
Western trends
Yeah,
and the trends
I
that
mean, yeah.
make the builder or the designer the most money,
Hmm.
or maybe the trend that is the most sort of easiest to do, I feel.
Hmm.
And I think yes, buildings have definitely the architecture aspect of building, the design aspect of building has gone down significantly. Same if I think about fashion, I think it's more become more trend based, but we have lost a lot of these like artisanal crafts, like the regional
Hmm.
designs and techniques that our country would have. And even if they exist in like a very small bubble, I think no one like really knows about it. So
Yeah.
I think globalization is of course a killer of creativity. There's no doubt about that.
But when we were discussing this topic earlier,
Hmm.
we were discussing this digital aspect of it
Hmm.
and how that is completely different from the physical world that we live
Hmm.
in. We talked about how the physical world is,
Hmm.
it's not losing colors, it's like
Yeah.
definitely a bit muted down than earlier
Hmm.
in some ways. But the digital part is the opposite. People pick the brightest logos so that they just
Yeah,
stand
because we are
out.
oversaturated digitally.
Yeah, it's the opposite in that sense. Even movies, if you see, you remember, like I was wearing Devil Wears Prada. I was watching all those, rom-coms and the Christmas movie. That's the time to watch them. And they're all, it's so natural. It's like, it's just happening in front of you. And
Hmm.
now everything is so picture perfect. It's it's unbelievably HD.
Yeah,
You can see
literally.
everything. The reds, the
Yeah,
yellows, the pinks, everything is so
yeah.
saturated. So in that sense, you can also say that we are not losing colors.
No, so the problem is that you're losing the essence of color. Color might exist technically, yes,
Yeah.
somewhere, of course.
Huh.
But digitally, it's always trying to sell us something and it's ruining our brains,
Hmm.
destroying our attention span. And the purpose of color digitally is just to confuse us, overwhelm us, and just make sure that we click somewhere or, guide our eyes in a certain
Hmm.
way. So digital oversaturation of color is just horrible. And if you see when we go and choose the setting to sort of digital wellness settings on these mobile apps, the first thing they do is
Mute
just
down the colors.
gray out the
Yeah.
screen because that will automatically relax. And trust me, I've tried it. Like when you gray out your screen and use your phone,
I
first of all, it
remember,
takes your
yeah.
time and you just feel like relaxed automatically.
Like
I mean,
you don't see Blinkit Turant because it's not a yellow color
yeah, and
anymore.
you just feel so much better. I mean, just definitely, I think everyone should try it and maybe set some times for that. I think
Hmm.
that's a great way. But I think digital oversaturation of colors is just pathetic, and that is why we feel that we're not seeing color. Because I think when we talk about 70, 80 years earlier, even if I talk about the viral reel that we started with, the
Hmm.
cars were colorful and things like that, because there was no other medium. Even the TV was black and white back then.
Yeah.
So like, what are other mediums that you can enjoy color?
Notice it at least.
Yeah, I mean, right now everything is colorful, and that is why I don't think just people just don't care enough to notice color itself, right?
You
I
know
mean,
what?
because
Yeah.
everything is colorful already. You open your Instagram, you're bombarded. If you order something from your online delivery, it will come in some brightly color package. Everything is super colorful. I mean, like, just like look at this notebook. It's like filled with color.
Yeah.
Same with this one. We're always around color. So you have to make conscious choices to sort of give our brain space. And I think that is why a lot of people sort of go maybe for a minimalist home. So
Yeah.
there's this another real trend that millennials prefer minimal homes because they grew up with very maximalist homes. Whereas boomers, like the Gen X, like the generation before millennials, preferred more maximalist home because they grew up in a war-torn era. So they were
Oh.
not that, for them, all this TV, radio, everything was new. They grew up with more simpler homes.
Mm.
So there's a lot of shapes,
That
things
kind of
can
makes
shape
sense.
your
Yeah.
aesthetics, right? So it's like millennials are going super minimal because they grew up in like super cluttered middle class houses, which is like a fair way to look at it, right? I mean, they just probably want something different because they don't want to, relive exactly how they grew up. maybe someone has grown very minimal, they might just go all out and just sort of collect everything. So I think
Hmm.
there are so many things that can shape decisions like this, that can shape what you like, what don't you like, and not just personal decisions, just cultural, economic. Like a war can have so much impact on like the how the generation might perceive a
Yeah, yeah,
color.
yeah.
So I was reading this is a slightly off topic, but in 2010s, 2000 like tens and around that time,
Hmm.
um, camo print was super trending.
Hmm.
Why? Because there was a push from the government to like push camo print more
Hmm.
to make the public more comfortable with the idea of war.
Oh.
So that is how people can make it, like that is how
So
people can sort of alter your perceptions. So it's
yeah,
like so intense.
related to this, so color. Do you think color has like an impact on mental health? Not just your perception of things, but like the way, like if you're put in a dull, depressing room, it would
Hmm.
like affect your mental health, right?
I think
Or
that depends on the mental state you are in currently, like on your background and everything. So,
I mean, yeah, obviously, of
hmm,
course. But like, if I'm put in a very dull room, I don't feel like working that much. I'm
yeah.
just lazing around. I
Hmm.
don't know if is it mental health? I don't know.
But that can just be a subjective thing. So, for example, for someone, a dull room might work very well, but if they are put in a very colorful room, that might just freak them out.
Distractive.
Yeah.
Could be, could be.
So, I mean, it's again, so it's a very fine line. You never know. And, people might think that I would enjoy a minimal room, but maybe they just don't. It's very
Hmm.
difficult to sort of,
Even like in retail and all now, I remember seeing this one reel which was like McDonald's has lost
yeah.
all of its personality. It's the only the color is logo is colorful and
Hmm.
rest of the interiors are
Yeah.
all
That is
grayed up.
classic gentrification. And I think I read the same thing about Airbnbs also. How Airbnb as a company, when it started, the whole purpose of that company was that so you can go and stay in people's homes, sort of get a sense of, random strangers' personality, just live in cute homes. I mean, Airbnbs, like, you just go and you experience their home. You sort of, it's a more cultural, social thing. But now people just sort of buy houses to rent them out and
The
turn them into
movie,
here.
The Holiday.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. That was the purpose of an Airbnb. But
Hmm.
now people have just made it into like a side business, which is great. It's great to earn passive income. But I
Hmm.
think now since houses exist just for being Airbnbs, like if you go and search for Airbnbs, they all have that classic same aesthetic.
That's
Like
true.
that motel art, live, laugh, love, some flower painting,
Yeah.
some
And if
fairy
it's like a party
lights.
place, if they've specifically made a party place in Gurgaon,
Mhm.
it's neon lights
Yeah.
with some random drunk text on the wall written.
Correct, correct. So I think everything is so defined now that we have no personality left. And even if you see, most like McDonald's is a great example of that, and so many brands have done that, right?
Hmm.
Like even like if you see fashion luxury stores used to be so much personality heavy before. If you compare it to like a Chanel store then and Chanel store now, it's so different.
Oh.
That happens with almost every brand.
But
So
you said
even Starbucks is a great example. Starbucks used to be like a great community hangout place, like a third place.
third place.
But now it's just again like a corporate headquarter. It looks like so boring.
Yeah.
Like airport
But
vibe.
how is it all related to gentrification? I'm just wondering. I'm confused. Ekbar explain it.
Like what? This whole
The
McDonald's
yeah,
Starbucks
and
thing.
all of this.
I
How
mean,
particularly is it related to it?
so the thing is, na, when first of all, it also is about a lot about branding, because when a brand becomes big, they need to sort of standardize the brand. Starbucks used to be like a cool place, but now it's like an average place. Like, it's not somewhere, you would want to go and hang
Haha.
out with. So I think, first of all, it's just the branding, corporatization of a brand.
Hmm.
And gentrification, because it just loses its soul and you just make everything look similar. Like when we gentrify a neighborhood,
Huh.
we just sort of strip away everything that it
Stands for.
stands for and everything that maybe like
So it's
people
basically
like
like
the
when
essence of it, the
the
soul of
rich
it.
people they just buy that area, move the homeless people or whatever out of it.
Hmm.
So how is that? So they're basically using it as a way to earn money and corporate like corporatizing.
And
Is
you know,
that a
I'll tell you
word?
one more thing.
All
Starbucks, I also
spaces.
read specifically about Starbucks. Starbucks used to be like a great sort of hangout spot, right? So people would sit there for hours and hours and hours.
Hmm.
But now Starbucks doesn't want that, because if a customer is sitting for 5
Hours.
hours, you are losing the number of customers that are coming. So that is another reason they try to make these places not so like relaxing and
Not
cozy.
the chairs are so uncomfortable.
Exactly,
It's
they
like
are for
this.
a
That's a
reason.
stool, and you have to just sit there and just feel like,
Yeah,
let's
like
go.
it's all done intentionally, right? No one
Yeah.
wants you to hog the table for like 3 hours. They just want you to get your coffee and leave.
Hmm.
So there are so many sort of corporate and capitalistic intentions behind small decisions that we sort of just see every day.
This just reminds me of the show I'm watching, The Good Place. I'm rewatching
Yeah.
it,
Hmm.
and they were talking about how everything you do in the world is now a negative thing.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So, I mean, obviously, all of these things would have an impact on how the world revolves in terms of colors also.
Hmm.
If everything is being capitalized, they are bound to lose colors, I think, yeah.
Hmm.
But so, what's your final verdict? Do you think the world is losing color? Yes or no? A simple answer.
We always tend to look at things from a nostalgic, rose colored sense that, oh, it was so much better before, but it was a different era. We just appreciated different things back then. So I definitely don't think that the world is losing color,
Hmm.
but I think that we just need to, it's not like we're losing color. So when we see a reel and that says that, oh, we're losing color, it's so easy to think that, oh, yeah, the world now is so bad. But just ask yourself that, have you ever made the effort to sort of notice the little things around you? Because
Yeah.
color is everywhere. I mean, color is obviously everywhere. And I think the things and the content that is going viral is about some very specific things, right? It's about the main thing I've seen is like the car thing
Cars.
and maybe some home decor trends. But home decor trends, yes, I think to certain extent, yes, they have sort of become more, again, very standardized. And cars also, I think, are people just, and it's not that the manufacturers are not making colorful cars, right? People just not buying them.
Yeah, I mean,
That
I
is
have
another.
seen a lime green Thar or
Yeah, I
something.
mean, there are
So,
options, and I do get that. Choosing colors in a car is more expensive than like a black car. So that is also reason, because if you want to buy a fancy color in a car, it will cost you like more.
yeah.
So I mean, I don't know if I am buying a car, I would want to pay like an extra sum just to get my favorite color.
Hmm.
So, and if I have the luxury to do that, then great. So I think there are so many factors around these little things, and then people, and I think there's this whole. I think it's unfair to say that the world is losing color when it's just
Yeah.
one or two things, and that is also, they do have sort of a reasonable explanation behind them. And I think the problem is not that the world is losing color, because it like really can't instantly.
Yeah.
I think it's just the effort that people are not making to appreciate it. And the problem is that we just don't appreciate color in the physical, like literal touch and feel world, because we are so stimulated and oversaturated
By the
digitally.
digital thing.
And of course, we have that whole bias towards older times were better, even though it was just like 5 years back. I mean, I've seen that reels popping up that 2015 and 16 was the most colorful aesthetic, which is like, yeah, I mean, they had like that was an era of a different filter. Like, we had those Instagram filters trending, and filters were a new thing, right? Before that, filters didn't exist. So instead, everyone would just try out every filter, and they would just put on so much saturation, because photo editing was new. People were doing that. People just putting 20 filters onto one photo. That does not mean that was a better time. That was just something new at the time. So now we have learned to just not overfilter everything. That does not mean that the world has lost color. And there might be a time when we are back into sort of more like back to a certain aesthetic. So, and then they'll just be like, oh, your color is back, which is not really true. But I think it's an unfair argument, and I think we just need to make more effort to appreciate the little
Yeah,
things
we do, because if we don't do that, it's like we're losing our individuality.
and humanness.
Yeah. So I think we do need to appreciate it a bit more. Color is all around, definitely. We just need to be a bit more conscious and aware of the color around us. Like, literally, when I came into this park, I did not notice a lot of colors myself. But while we were talking about this topic, I
Hmm.
noticed a lot. There are like such pretty orange, yellow flowers, which I didn't notice till we started talking about this, because I just like, oh, it's green, it's a park. Okay.
Hmm.
The only color I noticed was green. So we need to be definitely more aware of our surroundings in a way, observe more. We need to notice the color more, and we need to bring the color back if we are losing it, which we're not, but
Mhm.
we do need to still bring
If
it
we
back.
ever do.
If we ever do.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, the grass is always greener, so you'll always feel like you lost something, but that is not always true.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think design can be more personality driven, but I think we have more colors than we ever had, right?
Yeah.
Like literally we do. So I mean, I don't think that's the case.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty much what we were thinking.
Let
Okay
us
then.
know what you think. Yes.
Bye.